mind talking a little bit about Savoie and what we think might be happening there. I'm excited for it. I think he's earned his time in Bakersfield. I think he's kind of forced the Oilers' hand to give him a shot. The flip side to this is the timing is odd. And I almost wonder if there's something going on where maybe, we don't have a lot of assets to trade at the deadline. Is this a time to showcase Savoie, Michael?
Yeah, it is. First, I want to say, I've got a restraining order against this Bob Goalie guy, but he says you're crazy. He says you don't sit McDavid. I don't know who this Yahoo is, but anyway, we'll.
He's the goalie. He's obviously off his rocker. Let's be honest.
Anyway,
one too many pucks to the head.
Yeah, there's always a screw loose in those guys,
Always.
His helmet's on crooked, I think, but yeah.
So what was the exact question? Was like my thoughts on Savoie?
Yeah, I just, do you think there's more to it? Is it just, are you just excited to see him? Do you think there's some strategy there?
Oh yeah, Lotzi did a great article, Lotzi, on that, and Knobloch saying what he said and sort of outlining what the Oilers might be considering in terms of. I know you hate it, Lotzi, because you're always thinking about the future. I'm like, do it. Like if you got to trade Savoie for the here and now to win a cup, then do it, right? And I wouldn't be surprised. I think you're onto something. Like they need some trade bait, and at the very least, if you play Savoie and he plays well, at least you start some conversations. It doesn't necessarily mean, like any negotiation, it doesn't mean that Savoie is the guy, right? Like that. It just means that you've got a guy that people are interested in, right? That might be interested in, and then you can talk to them. You can negotiate whatever you want. Right. I think it's great. The kid deserves it. Like you don't want a kid sitting in your system like that, scoring goals and points in the AHL and never gets a shot at the show. Right. Like he deserves a chance to be up there in the big line. That's what I think. But yeah, Lotzi, you did the article, and everything I kind of know about Savoie, I've learned from reading your article. So,
check it out on heavyhockey.com.
Heavyhockey.com.
The timing of Savoie's Oilers opportunity makes me wonder by Ryan Lotzberg. Lotzi, break it down for us, buddy.
So you guys have kind of alluded to the aspect of it that makes me wonder is we're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline here. So what a peculiar time to bring your top prospect up to give him a look, right? We could have maybe done this a little earlier in the season. We could have waited till after the trade deadline if we wanted to just see what we got. So I would be flabbergasted if Savoie has not come up in trade talks. Like if I'm an opposing GM and I'm looking at what the Oilers can offer me for one of my best players to come and help them on a cup run, of course I'm asking for Savoie. Who wouldn't? Right? Who wouldn't ask for the kid? So it's not just an opportunity for the Oilers to get a good look at him. It's an opportunity for other teams to get a good look at him too. Scouts are going to be all over the place in the next 2 weeks here. So every building's going to have scouts from multiple teams every game. And so the word's going to get out on what we have in Savoie. And it might not just be for trading Savoie out. We could also be looking to see if Savoie can fill a roster spot if we want to trade somebody else out. ... Right, so there's lots of possibilities here.
And I like what you said in the article about, and to correct Michael a little bit, you weren't completely against it. You just said that if he's going to be sent out, you'd like to be somebody, if I'm not mistaken, for somebody with some term. Am I misquoting you there?
Michael's kind of in my head. He knows my argument because he and I go opposite on this one all the time. I'm thinking down the road. I'm thinking 3, 4, 5 years down the road still, whereas he's thinking right now. I think you need guys like Savoie coming through your system, especially if you're going to be competitive for a long time, like the Oilers want to be. Like you just signed Leon Draisaitl to an 8-year deal. You hope to sign Connor McDavid to an 8-year deal, and he's still got one more left on his current contract after this one, right? Mm-hmm. So you're hoping you get 9 more years of McDavid. those guys want to win more than anything, right? There's got to be an organizational plan in place to keep them competitive for that amount of time. And this current strategy of spending all your assets on 32, 33-year-old players that are at the end of their primes and about to start declining, it's not a sustainable strategy. So maybe it improves your odds of winning right now. Like, I'm on the record of saying it. I say it all the time. No move you make guarantees a Stanley Cup. So I think you do need to be careful about what assets you spend. Like, I'm never going to agree with these people that are saying, screw the future, give it all away for something right now. Right? That's not just me. But having said that, in the article, I did say that if you're going to give Savoie up, you better be getting a guy that's in his prime and that you're going to be able to control for multiple years down the road.
Yeah,
like you want
Savoie's
a guy who can help you now and down the road.
And if that happens, Savoie's probably part of a package, right? It's,
Yeah.
it's that and a somebody to get that type of player. Or what if, boys, what if Patrick Phillips, Oilers fanatic on YouTube, what happens if, how does it change things for, what if Savoie develops this chemistry with Leon Draisaitl or something like that? Like, doesn't that make things look a little different for their stretch run? What are your thoughts on Savoie?
Well, absolutely. I'm really excited to see what they have. I'm totally with Lotzi. I don't want, there's two guys in particular, Matt Savoie and Sam O'Reilly. You can trade all the first round picks, second round picks, third round picks you want. But when we've drafted a guy and we know they're good, like Sam O'Reilly, we haven't even seen him beyond the OHL yet, but he looks really damn good there. And I definitely don't want to see Matt Savoie go. I'd even not really be happy with somebody with term. I don't know, maybe a real longer term, like 5 years or something, but I don't know. But for seeing Matt Savoie on the team now, yeah, I'm really excited. That's why I think maybe sitting Connor out would be a good opportunity too, because you can open up a top 6 spot there for Savoie. And I think you got to play him with McDavid and Draisaitl, because there's no point bringing Savoie up for a fourth line role. I'm sure they wouldn't do that anyway, although they do it to someone named Jeff Skinner all the time. But yeah, it's got to be a top 9 role for him for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely excited, and I hope he's in against Philadelphia, because I think out of all the teams we talked about, they're playing on the upcoming trip. That's going to be his best chance to kind of show what he can do. But you also want to see him against good teams as well, if he's going to be an important player for you down the stretch and into the playoffs.
Philly's no slouch, though.
No. I'm not saying Philly's a slouch. I'm just saying they're the lesser of all the evils.
They are the lesser of all the evils. And
I wouldn't be surprised if we lose on Saturday, to be honest. I would not be surprised.
Oh, no, yeah, we could lose easily, yeah. Well, I think they did beat us earlier in the year, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took it to us in their barn last year as well. And the Oilers are awful coming out of breaks usually. So like this has a loss written all over it.
Yeah, I mean, a win would be nice, though, wouldn't it?
Of course it would.
I mean, it would be good. I can't believe we're talking Oilers hockey on Saturday. Guys, we're running near the end of it. I do want to, Lotzi, you brought up something like about the trade deadline. And I always think back to Brian Burke, like he, say all the time, like, there's 16 teams going for it at the deadline, but only one team will actually win it, right? But they all made that big trade at the deadline that was, guaranteeing them a win. And it's the hardest trophy in sport to win, right? So, you've got a point. I think right now the Oilers got to consider winning now, and then let's worry about the future later. Right? Plus the deadline, the cap space is going up, right? We'll just buy more players.
Yeah,
right?
That totally works.
Ryan Marchand is coming over, isn't he? I heard he's coming. The Oilers, everybody's
free agent market is fresh and ripe for us.
That's
right
right.
for the pickings.
That's right.